Welcome back to our channel here at Bourbon N Ash.
I'm Manuel.
I'm Trisha.
I'm Nicole.
And I'm Zachariah. Do you guys know at home watching this what a mechanical engineer, a microbiologist, and a famous American novelist have in common? Stay tuned and you'll find out. Meanwhile, come and join us as we explore the world of bourbon and cigars, which offers a rich tapestry of flavors, aromas, and experiences.
Para Dios, tu familia, y tus amigos.
Salud.
I felt so good when I'm boogie did the same. Boom, 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 boom. Gonna shoot you right down off of your feet. Boom, 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 boom. Bang, 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 bang.
All right, hey, welcome back, guys. It's
Yeah.
been quite the week. I'm glad everybody is safe and healthy. We had quite a bit of storm here
We did.
in Kansas last night. Apparently, I slept through it. Didn't know
Right.
about it until this morning. Having said that, today we're going to talk a little bit about a cool distillery.
That's right.
It's a newer distillery,
Mm-hmm. It is.
Wilderness Trail. They are brand new, and I mean brand new. They started in 2013. A couple buddies by the name of Shane Baker and Patrick Heist actually met in a college band.
College
They were in
band. They were a rock
together.
band together,
Yeah.
man. Yeah.
But it turns out that Patrick Heist got his PhD in microbiology.
Right.
And of course, Shane went into mechanical engineering. They both love bourbon, and they both go back generations in the bourbon industry, whether it was some family members that were maybe in the distilling business back in the 40s and 50s. I think for
Right.
even Stitzel-Weller or for...
It was Stitzel-Weller.
Uh-huh.
I thought it was Fitzgerald. Yes.
Yeah, so their families obviously go back. So they and they're from Kentucky. They graduated from the University of Kentucky, so they had some background in the bourbon business, whether it was through family or just their unique interest in trying to come up with concepts to build maybe a better bourbon. And in matter of fact, they ended up doing that because they were trying to perfect a specific yeast strain
Right.
for a sweet mash, which is really was unheard of
Right.
back in 2010 to 2015. Nobody could accomplish that. They did. And so they ended up starting a straight bottle and bond bourbon distillery, which now they've sold that.
Correct.
But they started out in 2013. Their first release was in 2018.
Right. 5 years.
5 years. Yeah. And we're going to try one of these straight bourbon whiskeys. We're excited to tell you a little bit about that. This one in particular, I believe, is 64% corn and I think 24% wheat.
Right.
Right.
Rye.
24% rye, and then the malt.
The rest is
The
malted barley.
Malted barley.
Okay.
Yes.
Did you guys happen to know that they get all their wheat and their corn and rye even from like within miles of the distillery?
Really?
Yes.
Okay. I did not know they got the rye. Most of the distilleries in Kentucky outsource their rye to the northern states where it's colder and it grows a little better.
Yeah.
I wasn't aware that they were actually sourcing their rye
They are.
locally.
So the only thing that they're outsourcing is their barley. They're getting that from the northern states. I don't know why, because everybody told me that the rye grows better in the colder conditions. But they are doing that there on some property that they own. And they actually are the 10th largest distillery in the United States. Over 185 acres is what they own. I don't know if you guys know that. That's a lot of property,
lot of
to
property.
make a lot of bourbon.
That's right.
Also, just a side note, their distillery, I think, has now moved towards a new direction. I think they're now starting to get into the toasted and a lot more of the weeded. And maybe you could talk a little bit more
So
about that.
they were moving into the wheated here a couple years ago. They are trying some new things. They're looking into segueing into the toasted, whether it's toasted staves or toasted barrels. That is where they're trying to go with. I did hear that they were looking at possibility a malt. Everybody's trying to do a malt. I have not got any confirmation on that. I did try to look into it a little deeper, but they are definitely trying to stay ahead of the curve and be the innovators, you know,
Yeah.
as they did early on.
Awesome. So this distillery, I don't know if I mentioned it, they're in Danville, Kentucky,
Correct.
which again is like 45 minutes south of Louisville, Kentucky.
Southeast.
Southeast. It's not that great of a trip. Beautiful distillery. We were fortunate enough, us four, to be part of a barrel pick provided by Paramount Wines and Spirits Liquor Store.
Yes.
And we got to actually meet with a gentleman to go over and pick a specific barrel with them, which, girls, you guys may want to talk a little bit about that. I know it's been 2022 and maybe your memory's not as good as mine, but I just remember it was such a fun experience. It was our first barrel pick.
It was our first barrel pick. We did have the fortune of being invited to collaborate, go in there and get our hands into the choosing of this barrel, which was pretty fantastic. I believe it's a once in a lifetime situation for most of us. So yes, we were very excited. One of the cool things about this is we have visited a lot of distilleries, and this distillery, when we were brought up to their property, they had a building to the left. As you come up their driveway, they have this metal building to their left, and that building is strictly to house the barrel pick, if you guys recall.
Yeah.
Really neat. I enjoyed it. It was a very nice out in the country. We talk about 45 minutes, 50 minutes down southeast. They're not in a very mass populated area. However, it was very nice.
I could forget Riley.
Riley,
yeah.
our
And
host.
Yes.
He
a
catered
fantastic
to us
guy. He
so
did.
well.
He did a phenomenal job.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He got so excited after listening to us talking about the bourbons that he went out and got it. Remember, he went and poured himself. I got to drink it with you because now I got to know what it tastes like.
Right. Yeah, that was
It
memorable.
was very cool.
Well, I'm excited, guys. Let's. I mean, just at first glance, it looks gorgeous.
It is.
Let's take a
Yellow
little bit of
gold.
that twirl and just see those legs.
It's got a honey
She's
color.
got some beautiful legs. Yeah, honey.
Very sweet.
I get some banana bread. A little bit of the toffee.
Maple and nut. Like,
Yeah, I got pecans, like pecans.
I
But it's
almost
like-
get like a butterscotch.
Yeah, butterscotch for
Butterscotch?
sure.
I get
On
a
the
little,
on
I
the
get
bottom side,
maple and
it's very sweet.
It smells
It's
very
very
good.
sweet,
that's exciting for me.
right? Let's see.
Oh, we're drinking. We're drinking.
Can't sniff it forever.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's spicier than it smells.
Must be the rye, huh?
No, there's no rye.
Oh, I thought you said there was.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, yes, this is not the rye, but there is rye in this. But it's definitely spicier than the smell.
But when after you drink it and smell it, then you can start smelling the peppercorns and the spices.
Yes.
You guys continue to drink. I'm going to ask you a question. First person that answers correctly
What do we win? What do we win?
wins a free trip to my house for spring cleaning.
Oh, nice. Okay.
I'm out.
All right, I'm out.
Who
So I'm
was?
just gonna keep drinking.
That's right.
I love spring cleaning. Let's go.
Go, Trish. You got
Who
it.
was the fastest craft distillery to become a heritage distillery? And do you know what the difference is between a craft distillery and a heritage
I do.
distillery?
I do.
I have failed.
Okay.
I'm so happy.
Manny, what's
No,
the
no, I'll let the ladies.
Okay.
Go ahead.
What's the difference, or
Yes.
who's the fastest?
What are
Well,
the things that said it?
both. Who was the fastest distillery to move from a craft distillery to a
Heritage.
heritage, and what is the difference?
I'm totally just guessing because I do not know, but I'm gonna say
sure.
Angel's Envy and the amount of bottles they produce.
Okay, Tricia?
I don't even know.
Okay, so she's just gonna say,
Yes.
I don't even want to play this game. Manuel, you know.
I don't know.
You don't
I
know?
don't know.
Oh.
I don't. But I do know.
Okay.
I don't know. I do know.
So,
what
I'm
sets
not
them
right.
apart? One of
That's
the
what
things that
matters.
sets them apart is the amount of barrels that they rack. They
That's
rack
correct.
in the house.
That's the difference between a craft distillery.
So
and
is it Wilderness Trail? Because they
So
started
Wilderness
out,
Trail started out as a craft distillery.
and they were doing like
And they were
one
only producing,
barrel.
the max that they ever could produce was 25,000 in a year.
Wow, that's
Now
so much.
they're over 250,000, which moved them into the Heritage
Into the
Distillery
Heritage
line.
Distillery line.
And they were the
Wow.
fastest to do that in their short,
The short
11
time
years.
in the span, yes, in 11 years they
Wow.
were able to transition
impressive.
from a craft to a heritage.
All right,
did
that's just a
not
side
realize
note.
that.
I figured you guys would all know because
How
you're
much
freaking Wilderness Trail.
money did it take to do that? Because you got to think like how much money because they get taxed on those barrels
You're gonna have to
sitting
call
there.
Campari.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that would be a good question for Mr. Baker and Mr. Heist.
Well, I doubt they're going to answer it, but
Yeah.
it is something to ponder. The amount of money that is being held in one rick house is ridiculous.
I do know that they afforded to start the distillery company through a corporation that they had begun after college, where they were manufacturing yeast for other distilleries.
Okay, so that's how they began.
They made a
Mhm.
lot of money that way, and then they said, well, hey, why don't we just make our own bourbon?
Mhm.
So, all right. So, what do you guys think on the nose, on the palate, and then on the finish?
Okay.
And give me your rating after you discuss that. Give
If
me
I
your
have to
rating.
discuss it, okay, sure.
1 to 10 still?
Yeah,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
1 to 10.
Nicole. Enlighten us.
Okay, so I love the smell. It does have the honey yellow gold kind of color to it.
Mhm.
It's very pretty. It is not as sweet as I was expecting it to be from the smell. It's a little bit spicier. Should I vote and then we talk about the MSRP? Because I don't know. That sometimes.
No, let's give your vote,
tells
and
me-
we'll tell people what
Okay.
what they can
Yeah.
buy that
All
for.
right, all right, all right. It kind of tells me where it should be at. But I am not a huge fan of this one, so I'm gonna go an even 5 on it.
So you're not a fan of this particular
Specific,
bourbon?
yeah. No, and Wilderness Trail is fine. I
Okay.
enjoy it, but it's not sweet enough for me.
I got you.
It's too rye forward, probably.
Yes, it's not sweet enough for me. It kind of burns. The Kentucky Hug is very much still there and lingering.
Yeah. Okay. Well, after 5 episodes, I think everybody understands that you're a
I
little
like the
bit
sweet.
sweeter than most. I'm going to give it a little bit better than that. Again, this is not based on any personal experience I had with them. Because if I was basing it off my personal experience
Oh,
with
yeah.
the distillery, this would be like a 10.
Yeah.
Sure,
But based on this
This-
and trying to inform our viewers, this is probably going to be one of my least favorite because it's so rye forward, even though it's not considered a rye. So I'm going to be probably a little bit more lenient. I'm going to say 6.5.
Okay. All right. How about you?
All
She's
right.
gonna love this one.
Well, I do like this
I
one a lot.
know.
What do you like about it?
What I like about
Yes.
well, I like the rye. I don't know why, but I really like the rye
Mhm.
taste. And not specifically because it burns, because I don't think this one burns. I mean, maybe it's just the pepper. I like pepper or something. I don't know.
That
Okay.
makes sense. It's very peppery.
Yes. And it almost is like butterscotch with pepper. It's weird. But anyway, I'm probably going to give it a 9. I really like it.
Okay.
I think
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
really good.
Nobody shocked by that?
No,
Okay.
maybe a little bit that it's only a 9.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So, what I'm gonna judge this one in my palate, I'm gonna say it's an 8. It's an 8. Again, I do like the wheated bourbons. I do like a little bit of it sweeter. I could definitely appreciate a rye forward, but it's an 8 to me.
Okay.
I mean, and I think I'm being more than Generous, yeah.
Okay.
It doesn't have a lot of other flavors besides pepper. I mean, it,
Right.
it doesn't have the bouquet that we really like.
The aromas was good.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
Again, I think our last episode we talked about this. The palate did not deliver on the aromas, right?
Yeah.
So you're expecting for this to be sweet and very
Flavorful.
robust,
Right.
flavorful.
Yes.
Yes. And I have to say that it does fall short.
Okay.
I kind of like the fact that it was a surprise.
Because
Because
it was.
smelled so sweet. You
Yes.
thought it was going to be a very, very
You thought it was gonna be
smooth.
mine.
Sure.
All right. So Trisha's in
And
that.
Unless
she's in that
you
2%.
already spent that
She's
money,
in that
you're
2%
like,
category.
okay, so it was a letdown.
Speaking of money,
Oh, yes.
so everybody at home, this is readily available
Absolutely.
anywhere.
You can
most
go-
places.
Yep, you can go down to your local liquor store
local liquor
if it's
store.
being brought into the state where you're watching. In Kansas, it is. We were able to go and purchase this from Paramount Wholesale Wine and Spirits in Manhattan, Kansas. The retail is $54.99.
Okay.
That's what it costs.
Yeah. So I mean, again,
It's a value.
It's a value.
yeah, that's
yeah.
a value.
And the thing about bourbon, I mean, Wilderness Trail bourbon, is that there's 3 different colored labels.
Uh-huh.
That's right.
So
Tell us a little bit about it.
Ooh,
when you
yeah.
see the yellow label, it's a wheated one,
Mm-hmm.
which is going to be more sweet. That's kind of like the one that we were on the barrel pick with.
Mhm.
We had
Yes.
a
Correct.
wheated,
Yes.
so it was the yellow label. This one is a black label, so it's rye forward, but it's not a rye. It's not considered a rye. And then the green label obviously is rye. It's always
Yes.
green for rye.
Yes.
So they only do one that doesn't have rye in it, or does the wheated have rye on it?
The
as
wheated does not have rye. It's
Mm-hmm.
corn, wheat, and barley, and it is the one bourbon that's out there that has the highest amount of wheat. Which is probably
And
why
that's
it's so
what we
sweet.
have in our personal
Probably
collection.
why I
Yes.
like it
Yeah.
so much.
Yes,
Yes.
exactly.
Okay, well, that's
Very
great.
cool.
Everybody, honest reviews. Now let's introduce a cigar manual. I'm going to let you take over.
Okay, fantastic.
Go ahead and start talking in
We're gonna
Spanish.
have,
We have
oh.
English subtitles down
Ok,
below.
muy bien. Vamos a hablar de los puros.
Ah, sí, muy
Ajá.
bien.
Vamos a hablar de Arturo Fuentes y de su belicoso. So here we have Arturo Fuentes. This is their belicoso. It is known as the Hemingway. Quick note, we've talked about torpedoes, we've talked about belicosos in our previous shows. Little quick footnote on this. So the belicoso is the shape of the cigar. And what it does, it's not as sharp on the end as a torpedo would be.
Yeah.
And 99% of the time, it's finished with those leaves in a point on the opposite end, which you would imagine that those would be back where you're going to drive. So, footnote, yeah. This
Don't
is
snip
their...
off the wrong end.
I was going to say, I thought that this was in that you snipped.
No. You're going to cut on the back, and you're going to light on the front.
I smell leather. I don't want to sound like Manny, but I smell leather.
Hey, listen, it's okay. I know everybody wants to smell leather sometimes.
Yeah, it does smell like leather.
It is. Like books, old books, leathery
Yes,
books, yeah.
Dusty
The
old-
parchment, maybe
Dust,
that's what
parchment,
I'm thinking.
dusty.
Parchment,
Yeah.
yeah.
There you go.
I don't think it has as great a smell as some of the others, but
It's
very
so
different.
this is a medium. It's a medium cigar, which is going to have a little bit of those I don't know.
So, by
bolder.
looking at this, if you
Yes.
didn't know anything about it, how would you know it was a medium flavored cigar? Is it the coloring, or
So-
do you just know?
I just know
Okay.
because of the fact that the binder, the filler, and the wrapper,
Mhm.
it was put together.
Okay.
Those leaves deliver a little more robust.
Bust flavors.
Yes. Would you like me to cut that for you, or would you like to cut it yourself?
I'd like to try it myself.
Okay, right there on the camera. Show them how it's done. You could do it. Here you go. All right. Show us how you do it.
So how would you know, just if any person picked this
Well,
up,
I'm
which end to cut? Is it because this is a fatter end?
No, that's a great question. When in doubt, examine
The label.
The
the
label.
ring.
Okay.
You examine the ring, right? And that's going to tell you from where it's cut and from where it's going to be lit. if you are in doubt, just take a quick glance and, okay.
Not
Until,
enough.
not enough. So you want to pull this here, quick. And then remember that you want to cut about a dime's worth.
Leave a little bit of your
There it is.
bourbon
Perfect.
so that if you
Okay.
are going to
Mix it.
kind of mix it, you can get a little bit of that bold flavor mixed. Otherwise, right off the bat, that leaf.
It smells amazing. It's so pretty. Just very, very smooth.
It's a little bit heavier.
It is. It's a medium bodied.
I do like the Balacosas because I'm not gonna most times sit there for 45 minutes to be able to
No.
enjoy a
The
cigar.
size
Right,
wise,
because
yeah.
it's
Size
definitely
wise.
smaller.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So my first initial thought is it's not sweet enough for me. Shocking. Though it is not super overwhelming in flavor to where you almost feel like you're getting hit with it. It's so strong. So it does still have a milder flavor to it. Do you know what I mean by like it's not like super overwhelming?
Well, you can just kind of smell and just the aroma that it's not a very strong. And I expected it to be stronger.
Especially from the initial smell with the
Yes.
leather and everything, I thought
Yes.
it would be a lot more bolder.
So I do like this company.
Okay.
I'm not a big fan of this
Specific.
flavor. It's a little bit heavier than I'm probably enjoying. Maybe after a
So
few.
one of the things,
Candy.
the reason I think that it was going to pair well with this bourbon, because of those things. To me, it has like that white pepper. That it's also very, very creamy. When you drag, do you get a creamy feel in your mouth?
I get dark coffee, like
Mhm.
dark coffee. No cream, and I like cream in my coffee.
You like a little sweet, do you?
Well, I mean, speaking of pairing, I mean, this.
Right? How does it taste
Yeah,
with your
let's
bourbon?
let's try that again. It makes probably a world of difference.
Well, it has a really smooth, easy draw.
It
which
is
nice.
and it. So I think what you're seeing is so it's a little earthy on the smoke. When you drag, it gives you those earth tones in your mouth, but yet it leaves your mouth feeling like it's coated. That's what I mean by creamy. It's very creamy. It's not a sharp, dry drag.
Yeah. No, I mean, so just having that one sip coming from this, which is real bland, earthy, dark coffee, it actually pulls more sweetness out of that corn on that bourbon, but it also makes it more spicier now as well. So I don't know that I necessarily like that combination. I do like it bringing out the more sweet because you're
It
going
is
from
spicier
dry
afterwards.
to now pulling out that sweet corn. But then this is already like warm on my tongue, and then mixing that, it's definitely spicier. So
I can see having a good old fashioned with this, though. The little sweeter old fashioned.
The old fashioned was fantastic.
I bet you that would be
That's-
amazing with this.
that's what I was gonna
okay,
It's sweeter, it's
I have a
cooler.
question.
Mhm.
Do we make anything else other than old fashions at this table?
I like Moscow mules.
Okay.
But I can also have the Kentucky mule, which is where you put the whiskey in as instead.
Well, I mean, we do have mariachi locos.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, we had so many of those.
Okay. I mean, it's good. I mean, if we're going to start the rating, the
Yes,
B&A
please do. Go
rating
ahead.
on this cigar,
What's your rating?
I'm probably on the lower end of the scale. I'm probably 4.5. That's being generous. 4.5. Yeah.
Okay. Nicole?
I actually think it's pretty good for a cigar. So I am very much a sweet-tipped, sweet cigar person. That being said, this is one I could sit and smoke. Give me a good old-fashioned, something sweet
Yeah.
to go with it, so I get that sweet in there. I could really enjoy this one. So I'd probably say it's a good 7 for sure.
Okay, nice.
Yeah.
All right, I like that.
Mhm.
All right, so I'm gonna give this on the cigar itself. I'm gonna say probably 8.5.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah.
You have a completely different taste.
I do. I like it.
Okay.
I really enjoy it.
I thought we were both Cancer. I thought our birthdays are like 5 days apart.
There.
They are.
There.
Two
It's just,
different people.
Okay.
it's just, yeah.
No, that's good. We want honest opinions.
So yeah, 8.5. I would say that the pairing is probably more like probably like a 7.
Okay.
So I think the pairing is a lot lower. My personal feeling.
Yeah.
I think that for this one, for me to be super enjoyable, I need a sweet drink and finish with that, and that would go really well. But having them together, it made the drink so much more spicier.
Yeah,
It does.
Yes.
Tell us what you guys think. Have you had an opportunity to try either one of these products? Leave comments. Please hit that like button and that subscribe button. And please share our content. The more that you share it, the better that the algorithms get spread out and more people have access to our channel. Hopefully it's informative. You learn something from it. I learn something from myself
Yes,
every day.
absolutely.
So, Manuel, do you have any closing thoughts?
Leave the comments down below. We have been looking at them. Hope you've had a chance to try that Angel's Envy, the rye.
Oh, yes.
I'm glad somebody got good info out of our cigar video, our short video. Keep bringing it on. We will continue to review those, and if they're positive, we're going to be super thankful. We do appreciate your time, as we understand your time is valuable. Thanks for hanging out with us. We'll see you next time.
And always, please, drink responsibly.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Cheers.